Hi everyone, I'm FMGreeno. Welcome along to the Greeno Tour, my FM21 European journeyman. Today, it's a bit of an emotional episode. We are heading back to our old club, FC Koeln, for a Champions League game. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of old faces for us to catch up with. First up though, let's go and take a look at how we've been getting on since we were last together. So, let's start with England. We have had another international break since we were last together. It started brilliantly. We beat Croatia 6-0. Absolutely battered them. But then, just a few days later, disaster. A 4-2 defeat up at Hampden Park against the old enemy Scotland. Declan Rice got sent off on the stroke of half-time, and from that point onwards, we were not in the game. A different story here at Roma, though. It's been amazing since our last episode. So we'd started the season pretty well. Obviously, we had that win against Milan and against Valencia in our last episode. We then travelled to Atalanta, who were a decent side, and beat them 3-0 with a McDade hat-trick. Pescara got smashed up 5-0. Bari away, another win, although we left it very late. Trincao 94th minute penalty. We travelled to North London, took on Arsenal in the Champions League, and came away with a fairly comfortable 3-1 win. I was surprised by that, to be honest. Two more league games since then. Napoli at home, a 3-0 win. Fiorentina away, a 4-1 win. So that brings us to today's game against Koeln. Now, if we go and take a look at the competition standings, you can see things are looking pretty rosy. So obviously we have 6 points from our two Champions League games so far. And in the league, we're currently second, only behind Lazio by a point. The surprise, I suppose, so far of the season is Juventus down here in 5th place. They're 5 points behind us after 7 games. How long that will continue, who knows? Anyway, let's go and take a little look at how we're setting up for today's game. We do have a number of injury problems today to contend with. Max Grice is out. Marasic, although he's normally only a backup these days, is out. McDade is out. And Mesquita is out. So that's 3 definite first-team starters and 1 possible unavailable. Does give an opportunity for a couple of other players, though. Nagel is going to play here at left-back, where we've been playing Grice most of the season. And Adelphio is going to get a fairly rare start out on this left-hand side. Otherwise, I guess this is pretty close to our first 11. Boadu has been in and out of the side, of course, with McDade, but he's very, very adequate up front for sure. So yeah, that's the lineup. Let's get over to the stadium in Koeln and see how we get on. So here's the Koeln lineup. Not too many familiar faces. Huang Zhao, Pinheiro, Troy Parrott I noticed. And the others look like players that have been brought in since our tenure. I guess it is 18 months or so since we left the club. So the manager who is there now, I think, is Sergio Conceição. He's obviously decided a bit of an overhaul of the playing squad was required. But yeah, it's nice to be back here in Koeln. I'm sure we probably got a very good reception. Or maybe not. Who knows? Football fans are a fickle bunch, aren't they? Well, it's been a very quiet first half so far. The only incidents of note, we had to take Ongwene off. He picked up a little knock. And Koulibaly has come on in his place. But yeah, other than that, nothing to report of note at all. See, Arsenal are winning 3-0 away at Valencia currently. So that would put them into second place in the group as things stand. But yeah, this has not been a great advert for the Champions League. Let me tell you, 0-0 at half-time. Not a single highlight to show you. So, let's tell them we're not happy with the performance. Adelphio doesn't like that at all. He's not very happy anyway because he wants to leave the club. But finally, we have a highlight. Oh, sheesh, and he has scored! That's got to be what? Best part of 30 yards? What a hit! Again, questions possibly for the Koeln goalkeeper. He seemed to get a fairly decent hand to it. But too much power. And it's in the back of the net, so we're 1-0 up. Another highlight. Oshish this time. Floats it in, and Kumbula with a header. And it's a 2-goal advantage now. Well, we definitely won't be getting any applause from the Koeln fans now. They are going to be less happy with me coming into their backyard and taking away the points. Assuming we do, of course. There's still a little way to go in the game. About 25 minutes, I would suppose. But yeah, that was a decent ball in. Oshish doing very well from set pieces. I'm going to make a couple of changes now. I'll be back in a moment. So I've made our final 2 changes. I took off Adelphio, who was not having a great game. Moved Boadu back to that left side. And brought on Mariani, someone who's come through the ranks here at Roma. Not had much of a look in, to be honest. So this is his Champions League debut. And we also brought Condemi on the right-hand side in place of Trincao, who wasn't having the greatest game in the world. It looks like this might just be playing out to a fairly standard conclusion. No more highlights as yet. We're going to go into injury time. Yep, it's going to be it. It's full time, and we come away from our old club with a 2-0 win. Well, that result puts us in a really commanding position in the group. You can see we're top here on 9 points. Arsenal in second on 4. So, yeah, I think one more win, and that is us pretty much guaranteed to get through. If we take a look at the schedule for what we've got coming up, a bit of a mixed bag in the league. Some games that we really ought to win, such as Brescia, perhaps Torino at home. Some tough ones. Lazio, of course, who are topping the table. Inter are struggling this season, but they're never going to be an easy game. So, yeah, some really interesting fixtures coming up. But where I think we ought to come back is probably for the last 2 England games in the Nations League. We've got France at home and Croatia away. We need to win both of those games and hope that France slip up against Scotland to have a chance of topping the group. So I think that'll be an interesting point for us to come and see whether we can do it. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. It wasn't exactly an action-packed game, was it? But a really good professional performance. Come away with a win away from home in the Champions League is never a bad thing. If you did enjoy it, please drop a like on there for me. It helps me get seen by more people, of course. And if you've got any comments about this episode or the series as a whole so far, I would love to see them below. And don't forget, if you're not yet subscribed, please click that button and come and hop on the Greenobus. There is plenty of room for you all. It just remains for me to thank you for watching, and I will see you soon for some more action here with England next time. Bye for now.